It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements.
I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting in the air in them, taking the air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect when I show up.
I can't hold on to football. It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it.
I'm thinking about her, thinking about me, thinking about us. Who we gonna be? Open my eyes, it was only just a dream.
Introducing Mike Cash Collins and Scott Stag Simpson as the Fantasy Millionaires.
Peekaboo. I see you, Scotty Stacks. Welcome, everyone. The Fantasy Millionaires are in the building. Shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to aliens if you're watching. Scott Simpson, drop some life on the mic and tell me what's happening.
Oh, man, I am just so excited. First of all, I get to hang out with my best friend. I get to kick it with you. I get to chop it up. Secondly, I got a new pair of sunglasses, so I'm debuting them tonight on the podcast. Thirdly, you and I are about to embark on a great adventure, one that I have not actually, honestly, been able to do in maybe 15 years. How long ago were you married, by the way? And that'll be the last bachelor party I went to.
That was the last bachelor party you went to?
Yes, sir. I'm not a bachelor party guy. I haven't been to many bachelor parties. And so this bachelor party is going to be like the best bachelor party I've ever been to in my life. And so it's been like, what, 14 years you've been married? 13 years? It's been a long time.
13, right? 2008. Yeah. So
I'm about to
March or February, somewhere in that time period.
And when we did, we went to Atlantic City. We went to do we stay at the Crown Motor Inn? Was that the place we stayed?
Is that what it's called? That's a great pull if you've got the name right. I'm pretty sure the name Motor is in the name of the motel. Definitely a motel.
Yes.
That was right outside, I think, the now demolished Taj Mahal. I have no idea what's going on in Atlantic City.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if the Crown Motor Motel is still around. I wonder if it survived. That whole block probably just went up.
Dude, that place was so shitty. There was blood in the bathroom of the place we went. There was glass on the floor. We added to it by throwing beer bottles across the room and shattering them all. That place was just, I think it was a demon was there. Another time we went, my friend saw a demon in the bathroom. So like, that's just not a good place. That's also the location of one time we went to Atlantic City. We stayed in this place like 3 times because it was dirt cheap. It was right outside the Taj Mahal. You could just walk across.
Walk right down the street to the Taj and go play poker.
Play poker, right? We're poker guys. So one time though, I was asleep in my bed. It's like 4 a.m, 3 a.m, and I was sharing a room with Mike and my friend John Olson, whose bachelor party. We're actually going to go down to Austin, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But they were out over at, I believe, at the what is it? The Borgata. They were at the Borgata drinking, gambling away, and all of a sudden, I'm dead asleep. I just hear this, help! Oh no! I was completely asleep. As soon as I heard this, I jumped out of bed. I dead bolted the door. I started like just panicking, looking out the window. I couldn't see anything. Somebody got murdered.
Did you get into a little ball? Did you get into a little ball and just rock?
I just got in my low T ball and just like I got all the covers, and you get all the covers on you and you tuck them underneath all of you and all parts of your body, and there's nothing. Yeah, I just laid there like, please don't murder me. Please don't murder me. And then eventually you guys returned with just an epic story of the paramedics taking out John's dates. As you guys were drinking, he was going so hard, my man John, that the girls he met at the Borgata and he was drinking with, during the bar session that they're drinking in, the paramedics had to be called to take them away mid-drink. So they were that hammered. And you were there.
So, do you remember the movie Big?
Yes,
with Tom Hanks?
of course. It's a great.
Do you remember this? Do you remember the scene where he has to go stay in a motel, and he basically hears what you heard? Like he gets down a little. That was you. You're Tom Hanks. You were the kid in Big.
Big time. Big time.
Why weren't you with us? I don't remember why you were back in your room. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was being a little bit of a baby, you know. I was sober that night because the night before I had gone hard, and I was just kind of jealous that all you guys were going hard, and so I probably just went back to the room to go to sleep. I mean, honestly, I think that I was the designated driver the next day to get us home from Atlantic City. It was my job, and so I was staying up. I was being sober. I was being responsible. Which is what you're supposed to do when you're in charge of getting a crew back from Atlantic City, especially when the crew is just, you know, shit-faced most of the time. So, but I'm excited about this trip to Austin. Speaking about getting shit-faced, we'll be sober on this trip. But we have a bachelor party in Austin, Texas, and I'm so excited because I've never been to Austin. It's a hub of activity right now. We've got lots of great things we're going to do over there. We're going to go boating. We're going to go see Joe Rogan in a small venue. So I'm really excited. How about you, man? What are you thinking about for this trip? How are you sized, as they say here in the Maryland area?
Isn't there something in Austin with bats? Do you know about that? Is that Austin or is that San Antonio?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know where it is. It's like the world's largest bat cave where like bats
There's
come
some city, it's either Austin or San Antonio, where 5 o'clock at night the bats come out and you just go look at the bats. So
I'll go look at Batman, you know.
So if Austin has bats, I want to do that. Another cool thing I just heard about is they have these weird moon towers throughout Austin, which I don't really think they're that cool. I guess they're cool. I don't know, but I want to see I want to see a moon tower. They're basically these lights they have set up that are supposed to generate so much light that they light up neighborhoods. Like it's supposed to kind of function like the light of the moon. And there used to be a bunch of them all over Austin, and I don't think there's that many now, but if you remember the movie Dazed and Confused,
of course.
that there's a scene where they're out, partying in the field, and when they're climbing up that big tower, I think that's a moon tower, which I didn't even realize that was supposed to be around Austin. I had no idea, but I guess Dazed and Confused is based in Austin in the 70s.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? That sounds like we should go visit one of these moon towers and just, snap some candids. The Fantasy Millionaires doing Austin, bats, moon towers. So explain to me this lake situation, a river situation. There's a boat. What are we doing? What's the boat trip going to be like? I'm not understanding this, but we're landlocked. We're in Texas. We're not on the Rio Grande, are we?
Dude, I have no idea about that either. I don't know. Is there some big lake area or river area? I've heard Ron White talk about it before. I think he lives near the water there. So I guess there's a big water area. I have no idea, but yeah, we're getting a big boat, and I don't know what you do. I have no idea. You know, I don't know what river it is or lake or anything like that, but I guess it's right. I don't think it's that close, actually. Like, I think we're driving. Like, I think it might be like 45 minutes away. I don't think it's really in Austin technically. So
got it. Okay, so it might be just looking around at the area. Yeah. So Hudson Bend. It might be over there. There's like is it Lake Travis? Yeah. So I think we're going to Lake Travis is what it looks like. And that's kind of far away. So here's a question. Now that I'm thinking about it, we didn't rent a car. How are we getting around?
Chris was trying to get me to be the DD, and we were going to get a big van.
Oh,
and we were going to all pile in a big van. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. No problem. Yeah. But, he couldn't find any. All the vans were sold out. So I think it's just Uber, Lyft, whatever. I think and so for that particular portion of it, it's going to be a little bit pricey. Like we're going to have to pile, get 3 people in an Uber or whatever, 4 people, so we can save money on Uber costs, because a 45-minute Uber ride is going to be some cho.
Oh yeah, man, that's gonna set back my college fund for my kids, But it's a bachelor party. Like that's what's supposed to happen at bachelor parties. I've heard. I'll tell you one thing that will not be happening with myself and Mr. Mike Cash Collins. We're not scrippers, guys. We don't scrimp on the scrippers. We're not into that. It's not our thing. I don't know if that's going to happen. I hope it does not happen because I'll have to bail. Honestly, as a married man. In my 40s, I'm not down with the exploitation of ladies in that context. So just for me, as a fantasy millionaire, I like to keep it clean. And I will not be at any strip clubs in Austin. You will not see me there. But you might see me at an adult toy store, because I'm definitely going to buy a bunch of dildos and give them to John during his dinner when we honor him. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to cling. I'm going to get the whole restaurant to this guy's getting married, and then I'm just gonna have us all give him dildos. I'm really excited.
I told Chris about that idea, and it's hilarious. If everyone has a dildo, should we wrap our dildos? Like we need to get wrapping paper so that he could have 16 boxes and just keep opening them.
Opening another dildo.
All dildos. That would be so funny.
That would be. I mean, here's the thing. We'll see what time we have and when we're going to do the dinner and all these different events that are happening. But one of my main goals when I get to Austin is find the sex shop, right? And then buy a bunch of dildos that are like unique and funny and interesting and would make someone like just be uncomfortable, at a dinner in public. And then to purchase said dildos and then bring them to, the venue and give them to everybody. So if we can get them gift wrapped at the place, hey man, gift wrapped the dildo, I'm down. And I think it would make for nice fodder on the Twitter. So if it happens, I will tweet out some pictures. Not safe for work for sure. And I think it'll be great. I'm really excited about it.
I think we should do it at Joe Rogan too. Why not? Right?
Oh,
if we're at Joe Rogan and then we do the gift opening, before the show starts.
Right.
And then our table is going to have 16 dildos on it. It's going to get attention. It's good. I mean, he's going to have to make a comment like, if he can see us. And I think the venue is small enough where he would notice a table with 16 dildos on it. So we might be part of the show. You
know what? Listen, the goal for me in doing this prank on my friend John is not to get, attention dollars, as they say. But if we can marry the two together somehow and get Joe Rogan to make fun of my friend and his pack of dildos, that he has, that would just make my night, So fingers crossed.
For sure.
Yeah.
I wonder what their phone policy is, because this would be so hilarious if we can get like an Instagram circle of Joe Rogan commenting on a table full of dildos. That would be so funny.
I think what I might have to do, this is subterfuge here. If it gets out, I might be in trouble. I might have to bring my old Android phone I don't use it anymore. It's just, generations ago, but it still can record video, and then I can still, email that video using Wi-Fi. So maybe I should bring 2 phones. And then if you have that first phone confiscated, you're like, oh yeah, this is my phone. And you take out your phone. The other one I'll leave off. It's not connected to any Wi-Fi or anything. Can't connect to anything. I'll leave it on airplane. It'll be like I'm a spy. And then I'll bring that little bad boy out if we get it. And then I'll just do a little under the neck recording or something, like one of these little box joints or something. I'll figure it out, because if we can get 16 dildos into the Joe Rogan show, I mean, come on, that's just.
I do think it is very frowned upon to film anything. So I don't know how that works. Like, I mean,
if it's against the law, I will not do it. How about that?
Well, I don't know if it's against the law or what.
I don't want to
but
cause any legal issues for myself or others.
Well, I just know that comedians hate it because they don't want their material, especially like new material that they're working on, that they're workshopping.
I would only do the dildo talk. Literally, the video would start when he's like, "What the hell's going on at that dildo table over there?" I mean, that was it.
Right. No, of course. I just wonder if they're going to be, if it's like hot, like if you whip out a phone or whatever.
You're gonna get tackled.
I don't know. I saw a video of a stand-up recently. This was DC Youngfly, and you didn't get to see it, which was so annoying, but somebody had to whip out their phone because he knocked somebody out during the comedy show.
The comedian knocked somebody out.
During the comedy show.
What happened?
Yeah.
How did that take place?
I don't know. I don't even know who this guy is. I've been following him ever since I saw this. I liked his name because, we're from DC area. But he's not from DC, he's from Atlanta, so I don't get the name. But he was doing a comedy show, and somebody took it was like before and after video that they spliced together. I guess it was two different ones, but you don't get to see him knock the dude out. But some guy rushes the stage, gets up on stage, and he's really like a cool dude, and he does these really wild shows. Like, he's a super like high energy comic.
Dane Cook energy type.
Yeah, like a black Dane Cook. Like, really, he's up and coming, so he just doesn't give an F. You know what I mean? So when this guy got up on stage, he thought it was like a fan, and he was gonna do something with him, and then the guy confronted him. And so you don't see this, you just see him afterwards. Like, the dude got knocked out, and you just see him on stage like, and then he still did the comedy show. Like, he finished the show. So
it's just laid out, and he's like,
he got laid out, and then they took him away, and then you just see him up on stage like, whoa. Like,
oh, I love that. What's his name again? Because I'm going to follow him instantly.
DC Youngfly. I think that's his name.
DC Young. You found a fan, man. If you're knocking dudes out who rush in the stage, I mean, more power to you. I think if you're on a stage, maybe he kicked him. I don't know. Maybe punched him. I don't know. The kick to me, because if you're above somebody and they're trying to climb up, that face is exposed. I've watched UFC. You can't kick people when they're down on UFC, but when someone rushes the stage, all bets are off, man. You can kick anybody you want, anywhere you want. So that would be something I would want to see one day is a comedian knock somebody out on stage rushing. That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty crazy for sure.
Well, you sent me someone the other day, and I'm gonna blank on his name. Was it Daly?
Dale Davis.
Rocky Dale Davis. Yeah, there you go. Dale. He was telling a story about how a fan choked out another fan, or patrons at the club. One guy ran by, another guy told him to not do it, don't do it, and they started choking him. And that story sounded wild in the club, as they say. I don't know. I guess people are just COVID crazy, coming back out of it. They're a little bit more free, I guess, to not give a shit about other people. I don't know.
Did you hear about the shooting in Austin last week?
No, I did not hear about the shooting in Austin last week.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate that part about America. It kills me every time.
Freaking mass shooting there last weekend.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like 16 people injured, I think 9 dead. I don't think they caught the shooter.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So
Going in hot.
gotta say my head's gonna be a little swivelly when I'm down there.
Good thing we're sober. That helps a lot when you're swivelly to be sober. So
I'll tell you this though. The way I'm looking at it is I'm running the numbers, and statistically, I think we're a lot safer now. You
Right.
know, like
Right.
yeah. So we are on the good side of the stats now. Like Austin's had its mass shooting for the year, so fingers crossed we'll be
to be safer. Well, if you're playing the numbers game, I mean, listen, I think that was it the 10th anniversary or so of the Pulse? Was it 5-year? I forget. I think it was 5-year anniversary of the second worst mass shooting in our country's history. Was just a couple days ago. And
what was it?
The Pulse nightclub shooting.
Is that the Orlando one?
Yes, I think it was the second worst shooting in American history, besides the one in Vegas. I think Vegas was the worst. I think that was the second worst. But yeah, we're just reminded again and again of those. The freedoms we have in America, they come with a cost. And guns and having access to weapons is one of those things that I don't own a gun. I'm not. If you own a gun, that's okay. I'm not against people who own guns. I'm not against the first, Second Amendment to own guns. It's not something I am against. But it does make me just pause in society and make me think about what's important. And honestly, it's not guns. It's people. It's people. People are important. So I'm just excited to be in Austin with people that I care about, people I love, like yourself. You're my roommate. I don't got to worry about any shenanigans going on. I'm not going to lose you to the streets. I'm not gonna lose you to the strippers. I'm not gonna lose you to the drinks. So you and I are just gonna have fun kicking it together, being best friends. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. And then we get to
Are we gonna meet up with Sal Vetri?
Celebrate our friends.
Are we meeting up with Sal?
You know what?
Vetri?
We will. Sal said that we could. So we'll pick maybe a lunch date or something. Go out and hang out with Sal Vetri. That would be really cool.
Yeah, maybe on Saturday.
By the way, if you don't, maybe on Saturday. Sal Vetri is a super cool guy in the DFS world, in the fantasy football world. I love him. I think he's awesome. He was in my Scott Fishbowl 10 division last year, the Mask division. Pretty cool. And he also shared when the XFL comes back, he's tapping me to do a podcast for the XFL. So, I mean, if I ever get to do a podcast with Sal Vetri, pinch me. I'm in fantasy DFS heaven. So, maybe we can chop it up with Sal. Just, fellas, see what's going on. There won't be any ladies, but, it's okay.
Is there any news on the XFL front? What's going on there? You're the XFL guru of the show.
2022, I believe, is the relaunch with the XFL. There's not been a lot of news recently that piqued my interest. Every once in a while something will pop up in the XFLs, people in the community go, hey, you see this? And it's coming back. The thing that's interesting about it though, is it's past. Like, to me, all those players are gone. They're not there anymore. Like, that experience is completely different. So when we get into the XFL, if we do it again, it's going to be new. It's going to be different. So I'm not saying
Didn't The Rock get to buy it for like $3 million or something like that too. It was such a bargain basement price. I mean, for somebody who can just, that's how much Hollywood hair transplants cost. He bought a freaking league.
Yeah. So
how much was it?
$15 million.
Okay.
But I think that is still $15 million for a league. You buy teams that cost hundreds of millions. So to get a league, so we'll see what happens. But if I could do something with Sal, that'd be great. I'm into Sal, and I'm into this weekend, man. This is going to be an epic time. I can't wait. No chalk blocked on Friday for me, and then my fantasy football hot stove show, which is normally on Thursday, kicking it to tomorrow with Howard Bender from Fantasy Alarm and Sirius XM Fantasy Radio, Mike. It doesn't get much better than XM Fantasy Football Radio. That's what we live on. We love that shit. So really excited about that show tomorrow. But let's jump into what we came here to talk about today. What is just buzzing. The news of Julio Jones being traded broke last week after our show. So it broke later in the week. We talked about it Monday, where we thought he would go, who we wanted him to go to. He's been traded to the Titans. The news is out. Nothing new. What we're going to talk about today is what we think that fantasy impact will look like, first for the Titans, and then also for the Falcons, as there's going to be an addition by subtraction, target opportunities, things like that. So let's start, Mike, with Julio Jones himself. Perennial 200+ point getter in fantasy football. Normally has over 1,000 yards receiving, 80+ receptions. He's going to an offense that did not throw the football over, did not complete the football over 400 times last year. So you're not having a pass happy offense in Tennessee. What do you think Julio Jones projects as this year? Where do you kind of have him? We haven't done our full ranking, so I don't need a number, but kind of what range of outcomes do you think is going to be if Julio stays healthy? I'll say that.
It is interesting, their style of offense and how he's going to fit in there. And then you have AJ Brown. So this is the first year we're accepting Julio Jones in this beta role. Like he is, in fantasy terms, he's the second best wide receiver on that team.
The Denny role. He's in the Denny role now.
He's taken a beta role to AJ. So I mean, what did AJ Brown have last year? Like 1,000 yards. It's gonna be interesting with the way that they they pound Derrick Henry. What is he going to be able to do in terms of stats? I'm just a big believer in that guy, though. He will probably end up having less points fantasy wise than AJ Brown. But I don't know. I think he might still be the best wide receiver on that team. I think Julio's still got one more Julio year in him. I mean, last year when he was on the field, he was on pace for 1,400 yards. So that guy's got three of the top 25 single season receiving yards. He's in the top 25 for, I think he's 13-25 for single season receiving yards. So I mean, he's and to me that stat to me shows you who the best wide receivers are, because everything else is kind of schemed. Like who's number one? Calvin Johnson. Number two, Julio Jones. Number three, Jerry Rice. And if Jerry Rice played in the modern NFL, he would. Who knows? But I think Julio Jones could have 1,000 yards. I think AJ Brown could have 1,000 yards, and I think Derrick Henry could have 1,500 yards. So I think the freaking Titans are going to be Titans.
Yeah. Well, and this is where the pushback comes from, and I'm not saying I'm pushing back, but I'm just going to give the kind of the counter argument to that would be, only 315 completions from Tannehill last year, which is low. It's in the bottom quarter of the league, really bottom fifth of the league. So you're looking for more. You're looking for more. And here's what I think. So I actually do think they will throw the football more. I think that their defense, even though they did try to make some improvements, still has a little bit ways to go, and that's going to mean there's going to be more points scored on the board. And we saw them in some epic shootouts last year. Really, just points back and forth, whether it's Pittsburgh or whoever. Those games I think are going to come for the Titans, and so I think that Ryan Tannehill has a chance to throw the ball closer or complete the ball closer to 400 this year. I think he gets a lot more passes because you have Julio Jones. I think that's what people don't understand either, is that yes, the offensive scheme is built around Derrick Henry, but you didn't have Julio Jones before. Like, that's the thing. When you get somebody of Julio Jones's caliber, you're going to design plays. You're going to get the rock to him. And I think he actually increases his touchdowns. I think he goes and gets 8 this year, which would be big for Julio. We know he's got end zone issues. And so I like it a lot too. And I'm comfortable drafting him as early as the 4th round. So I don't want him in the 5th or in the 3rd round. That's just a little bit too early. There's other people I can get, Terry McLaurin, Michael Thomas, which is insane. But if I can get Julio Jones in the 4th or the 5th, I'm completely comfortable with him being my wide receiver 2 this year. But that being said, I'm not going to be stacking AJ, Julio, and getting both of them on my team, not because I don't think they're both going to be good, but I do want to vary it a little bit in how I build my team. And you don't have to, even though I am Scotty Stacks, I'm not going to triple stack. I will do that in best ball, but I will not.
Totally stack them up in best ball. I'm trying to do it as much as I can. Here's another thing that's interesting is, Ryan Tannehill, they were one of the most efficient passing teams last year, but they weren't one of the most prolific. So
right.
Corey Davis, AJ Brown had a little over 1,000 yards. He was under 1,100. I was just looking up Corey Davis as you're talking. Guess how many yards he had?
Almost 1,000. I think he had almost 1,000. He was like
984.
Like 15, 16 away from 1,000. So I actually projected.
And that's Corey Davis.
Right. That's Corey Davis on 65 receptions too, which, he's averaging 15 plus yards per catch. And so I love that. I think that Julio Jones could smash those numbers because he's freaking Julio Jones. So,
right.
Yeah. Anybody who's fading Julio, I've heard a few analysts kind of saying, they kind of see him. I definitely see him as the B role. I mean, there'll be weeks when he's the A role in that offense for sure, because he's Julio freaking Jones. But I see him kind of, maybe finishing 15, 20, 30 points, 50 points, even in that range, behind, maybe not 50, but 20 to 30 points behind AJ Brown, which is very viable. But I think what people are looking at is the numbers from last year, and they're just transposing them immediately and going, oh, there's only going to be 420 passes, so he's not going to get. Man, the league changes. Every year's different. Don't just think that everything's going to be the same as last year and they're going to throw the ball the same amount. Also, Derrick Henry, they gave him 371 rush attempts last year. That was not what you want to do. I mean, yeah, he crushed it, but that's a lot of freaking rush attempts. And so I'm guessing that he gets about 50 to 60 less rushing attempts this year. I think those plays get converted to passes. Some of them go to Julio, some of them go to AJ Brown. So I do like this offense. And Ryan Tannehill was somebody who I was, secretly, snagging all over best ball. And now he's on a secret, and it's going to be harder to get him in redraft as well. So hopefully you got all your Tannehill shares early in the game when you could get top value before people knew about Julio moving over. Because now that he's there, you're going to have to pay for him, which is it's okay. It's fine. He's just not a value where he used to be. Well, let's talk about AJ Brown real quick. And what do you think is going to happen to him touchdown wise? Last year he had 11 touchdowns. Increase, decrease, up, down, stays the same. Where do you think that trends to 2021?
I think it stays the same because I think his touchdowns are just playmaker touchdowns. It's not like he's playing with Aaron Rodgers and they're running these little Devontae Adams quick flat, basically almost screen pass type plays when they get down to the goal line. So Aaron Rodgers can, get 45 touchdowns per season. So I think it stays right around the same neighborhood because if anything, he's just going to be better this year, Right. So I just expect him to have just another year filled with just manning up cornerbacks, beasting his way into the end zone, just making beautiful plays. And yeah, last year he got injured right at the beginning of the season. So I'm going to say he has more touchdowns than 11 this year. I think he does.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think for me, his ceiling is about 15 touchdowns. I mean, it could be even more, but 15 touchdowns is I think a safe ceiling, and then 10 I think is a floor if he stays healthy the whole year. I can't see him not getting into the end zone. Single coverage with Julio out there as well at times is just going to make him a monster. He gets moved around the formation. He runs out of the slot. He runs out of the X. He runs out of the Y. He can be versatile. And if you have Julio out there in that Y or in that X, whatever it is, you can play off of him. You could run him off of his back and put him in motion. A.J. Brown, I think, is just going to be a Swiss Army knife this year when it comes to where he's running out of the formation and where he's getting into the field. I took a look at last year at a sample near the end of the season of A.J. Brown's route tree compared to DeAndre Hopkins' route tree, and they had like the same amount of targets, same amount of routes, but all of DeAndre Hopkins' routes all were on the left side of the field. They never crossed like the halfway point, and they were all like little zigzags and little outs and little things. All of A.J. Brown's were everywhere across the field and ups and outs and across and everywhere. And so I love that. That makes me happy is the usage. They kind of figured out how to move them around the formation towards the end of the season. If they can do that and get another step deeper in that, maybe you could get 16 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns, get in that Devontae Adams MVP, wide receiver one type discussion, which a lot of people do think he can get to. So I don't think this hurts him. I don't think Julio being there hurts him. I think it actually gives him a little bit more of an edge to get there. So don't be afraid of A.J. Brown is what I'm saying, everybody. That's my hot take. So anything else you want to talk about the Titans before we jump over to the Falcons? Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Yeah, no, I didn't. The only other thing is I when we were doing our best ball draft today, I took A.J. Brown over DeAndre Hopkins. So I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, but in this particular instance, I was like, I want to get some more A.J. Brown in best ball. So,
yeah, I like it. Well, but particularly best ball, you're chasing upside. That's how best ball works. You're trying to get the most points in the week and trying to add those points up over the course of the season to win the league. And so you get that through these huge performances by players like A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Stephon Diggs last year. Julio Jones he's done it before in the past as well. Calvin Ridley's. You get those 30, 40-point games, Darren Waller, and then you're going to win. You're going to win that week. You're going to win more often than not. So chasing that is what we're talking about. Okay, so let's go to the Yippee-ki-yay mother Falcons, who have looked just about as shitty as the terrorists the last couple of years in all those Die Hard movies getting killed by our guy John McClane. If you don't know, on Fox DC or Fox 5, whatever it is, wherever you live, as a kid, when they would splice these movies together, they couldn't put the cursing on. They had to kind of dub it out or put something in there. And my favorite fake curse they put in there was that. So John McClane's about to blow up a plane and he goes, yippee-ki-yay, mother. And he says, the F word, of course. But then on TV, they go, Falcon. So it's like, they didn't even try. It didn't even try. So that's what the Falcons were last year. They didn't even try. They blew and squandered so many leads. I think the first 4 games of the season, they were up a combined 1 million points, and they lost.
Cowboys game was the one that was the worst one.
Watching that ball spin around made me angry. Get on the freaking ball! Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It just old man alert. I gotta calm down.
Yeah, but what were they up in the fourth quarter? I mean,
I think they're up 21. Was that
right.
It was 1 point, something like that? I mean, and everybody is going, oh, it's shades of the Super Bowl. And so not only do you have that collapse, last year, a couple collapses, a couple late game collapses, but you have the Super Bowl just like behind it all. And it's one of those things where when you fail on that grand of a stage in that big of a context, everybody knows about it. So when anytime you fail ever again, they're just like, see, that's who you are. And so Atlanta's got to get away from that. They got to get away from that persona of just like, honestly, I don't know where their heart is. I don't know where their fight is. They've had a lot of injuries the last couple of years. They've not been successful on defense, but as an organization, Dan Quinn wasn't cutting it. And so now let's see what it looks like. Let's see Arthur Smith. Let's see how it all plays out. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think Kyle Pitts is going to be very interesting. The thing I'm most interested in is there is talk. I don't know if you've heard this, but he's gonna get a wide receiver tight end double designation. Has that crossed your path?
No,
I don't know.
I've got a raging fantasy boner now that you're telling me this. This is news. This is special. This is Taysom Hill-esque.
I know. I know. But I don't know. It probably just depends on which platform you're playing in. You know, I don't. I just came across it. I might be starting the rumor. I have no idea if that's true.
Ground zero right here. First contact.
I'm
right?
just putting it out there, and it went through my mind somewhere, and I think that would be really cool. I am probably lower than most of the industry on him. Our man Kyle, but he I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be too far behind the pack, especially with Julio Jones leaving. They're gonna need somebody to step up and make plays. I just think it just depends on how they want to use him, because really, rookie tight ends generally, it doesn't matter how good they are. They're just the first year. It's not a position where you can see a rookie come in and just be extremely dominant like you can at wide receiver. I think that's where you see rookies really step in and be able to, be a dominant force in the league. And running backs, depending on which team they're on, also have that same ability. It's kind of coach dependent with running backs. So you don't see it probably as much. Whereas with tight ends, I can't think of any.
Jeremy shocking. I mean,
Yeah, first year tight ends, man. It's just not generally something that you see somebody come in. So they already have a tight end. So is he gonna be kind of more of a hybrid / wideout? We'll see. But that's the main thing I'm interested in that offense. I think they're still gonna be garbage.
Yeah, I agree. Here's something that my man Bo Big Time has been kind of advocating. So I'm going to parrot him. It's not me saying this. He believes that the Falcons are straight up replacing Julio Jones with Kyle Pitts. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to run all the same routes, but eventually that is more of the goal of that hybrid wide receiver, that he's not going to be in line. He's not going to be down. He's going to be standing in the slot. He's going to be moved out to the X at times. He's going to be matchup dependent. Of course, it's going to move around, but it's not going to be where he's down a lot. He's going to be out. He's going to be running routes on most of his plays, which would make him a de facto wide receiver. And in the slot, if he's got matchup nightmares, he's running out of the slot against, he's bigger than every safety. He's faster than every linebacker. So I do think if the Falcons, if Arthur Smith knows how to use him, and last year he had Jonnu Smith when he was in Tennessee, there's just a lot of kind of things that line up to this being a little bit different than a normal rookie tight end. So I'm going to agree with you, but I'm also going to say, to the moon, Kyle Pitts to the moon. I took a picture. I used a picture today and tweeted out. It's a really cool picture. It's the clouds of like the atmosphere on the Earth, and then you see like a little thing come out of it, and it's a rocket ship, but it's so small to scale. And I just said Kyle Pitts is ADP, because that's the problem I have with Kyle Pitts. It's his ADP. It's not that price that you're getting is baking in right to that top. He's going in the 3rd or 4th round. I can't deal with that. That's too early.
I don't like it either, man. Here's the thing: is like, so again. He's so tall and fast that I'm not saying you can't do what Bo's talking about. I think that is what they're going to do. That's what they should do.
Right.
But he's not a wide receiver. I mean, it's just like, like everyone's, saying how Tim Tebow can't come in and play tight end because he's never played tight end. I mean, you played tight end your whole career. It's not the same thing as wide receiver. So there's a lot of skill that you need to have, to be able to, get out of your breaks and to make defensive backs miss, or not, to make you, less guardable. The X factor here, though, is he's so freaking tall. Maybe that it doesn't matter, maybe if you're just big and tall and fast, you don't have to be good at getting out of your breaks. You don't have to be good at coming to a quick stop. You don't have to be this really precise route runner that just gets open because you're open because of God.
Right. Because of genetics.
Yeah, you're open because you're just 4 inches taller than anybody guarding you.
Right. You put your hand up and catch the ball, and everyone else can't do that.
I'm very interested here to see how it all plays out. I have a little bit of trepidation, just because if he is a tight end, rookie tight ends generally don't step in and just beast out their first years. It's a really tough position to learn. Now, if he's just going to be straight up a wide receiver, then yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm very excited to see how this plays out this season. So 100%.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Somebody who I do think really does stand to benefit from this is not Matt Ryan, by the way. If you think Matt Ryan his value is going up now, it's not. It shouldn't be going. It should be going down. He lost Julio Jones. I know that Kyle Pitts is going to be great. He's not a replacement for Julio Jones 1-for-1 at all. So that's downgrade for me for Matt Ryan. But it does give an uptick to me for Russell Gage. He makes it more interesting. I've looked at lots of other people's stats to talk about how he's more effective when he's on the field more and gets more passes, which every receiver is, by the way. So thanks for that news, everybody. But I think the real news is that he might have a chance to be on the field more. So that's something I want to see. I want to see who lines up in the 2 wide receiver sets for the Falcons. And I think it's going to be Russell Gage, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. I know that, we don't always know what's going to happen with these wide receiver groups and pairings. And I think Russell Gage was more featured in the slot last year. And so do you put him outside? He's not an X, he's a little guy. So I don't know what they're going to do with that, but he's somebody who, in the slot, it does open up a little bit of opportunity for him. If you're guarding Calvin Ridley, if you're guarding Kyle Pitts, you're probably not going to be guarding Russell Gage as well. So he might be somebody you could kind of get in the later rounds to be a wide receiver 4 for you, or 5 that would be effective. So I like that as a little sneaky play. And in best ball, he's always there as well, to kind of buoy your ship in the later rounds.
Yeah. You're not putting Olamide Zacchaeus over him. He was a little DFS monster sometimes last year, though. You sneak him in for league min.
Right.
Yeah.
Zacchaeus, come down from your tree and give me that cash I just won, bro.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. I think this is, it's a possibility, but that's like what I want to say. I want to hear how things are going in camp. I want to be able to see the splits and kind of understand that offense better. But I think Russell Gage does have value, and I think in DFS he'll have value as well this yeyear. So keep an eye on him for DFS. So, all right, we're humming along. We're doing well. I have a quick story to tell, and it's a side story. I know that we're still hoping to get Mike into the Scott Fish Bowl. I am in the Scott Fish Bowl. I'm in the Pink Floyd division. And so we're hoping to get you in. That's the goal, trying to get you into Scott Fish.
Please.
Yeah, please. It's if you could ask Scott Fish to get Mike in, please do. We'd love that. Don't harass him. Just ask him nicely. We love Scott Fish as well. Good man. So one thing we did last year that was really special, I thought, was we got these different, like if you pick 7th, a bunch of people pick 7th, right? So 1,000 people pick 7th or whatever it is, because there's 1,200 people in it. And so if you wanted to be in that DM group on Twitter, you could. So there's just hundreds of people in these DM groups, which I like. And so I'm in a DM group earlier today, and somebody's like, Cooterdoodle's in this group. This is great, man. I love it. I'm pick 6 in the Scott Fish. It's like, man, I knew Cooterdoodle was cool. And I was like, yeah, Cooterdoodle's cool. She's pick 6. And she's like, actually, I haven't been assigned to pick yet. I'm just kind of hanging out. And then people were like, collusion, like, oh no, So then poor Coodoodle, and it was me. I put the collusion gif out there. Poor Coodoodle left the chat. I felt so bad because she's like, I'm not really officially a 6 yet, but she did ask to be one, by the way. So I got to say, love me some Coodoodle. Shout out Coodoodle. We talked in the DMs. I told her not trying to chase her out at all. She's always welcome. But she's one of our favorites over here. Shout out Coodoodle, and she retweeted us today. She gave us a retweet, and so we're always very grateful to her.
Did you see her little pictures from the garden, like men?
That might be my second tweet. That might be my.
Okay. That was a good one.
That was a good one. Might be my second tweet of the night if I do win. But speaking of tweets, let's get to the I'm in the DMs now. If you're watching on Periscope, you can see, or Twitter Live or whatever it is. There's Mike. Okay, good. I know he's in the DMs. You want to start with you or me? Tell me where you want to start.
You can start with me. We just got done talking about the Falcons, so
okay. So this is PFF. Let's jump.
Yeah, Mike Davis needs a jean sponsor, and this is a picture of that famous Mike Davis picture with his crazy quadriceps just
oh my god
bursting through his shorts, and
he's smuggling quadriceps in that quadriceps.
Yeah,
I mean,
it says it's a nightmare to find jeans, and I believe that.
I believe 100%. That too, man. Holy shit. That is the biggest. Did you see? And right after this, Giovanni Bernard put out his thigh pick. You know what I mean? These guys just thigh picking us out. Each day they're like, "Did you get a good pick of my thigh?" They're over at the camera guy for the team photo, man. Like, you get a pick of that glute, you get a pick of that tricep.
Dude, what the hell is this Mike Davis business though? Like, all of a sudden he's just comes out of nowhere, and he is.
He didn't though. He was on the Bears. He was not terrible on the Bears. He had some injuries, but
he was okay. He was okay. He beasted it out last year, no doubt. No doubt.
Beasted it out.
Yeah, but like, who knew his quadriceps look like this?
Listen, if I can get Mike Davis in the BFFs as a later round running back, like, I will take this championship to the house, because Mike Davis has just so much upside for somebody who's being drafted in the later RB, first.
But he's not even that late now, is my point. What is he, like, round 5?
But you know how it always takes longer for the trickle down effect into home leagues. You know what I mean? So our home league will be a little Bama like. We'll
see.
Okay.
I mean, they're all gonna they're gonna have our draft guide with them, so they're gonna know what we want to do.
Gosh, I know. Here's the thing that's so funny. Last year when we started this, we can look and see where people are listening from, the demographics of our data, and or the data of our demographics, and we definitely have friends listening in Arkansas, Josh, Houston, Blake, Germantown, Ben, all these guys in our league checking out our show and then drafting our guys in our draft. I'm a little worried this year for our home league, honestly. I think they're going to be all over us. And, I mean, rightly so. We're the Fantasy Millionaires, and they're not. So they should be all over us and some. I love this tweet. This tweet's perfect. Let me go to my tweet. My tweet, it might be one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen in just Twitter itself. So let me go back up here. Okay, here it is. This is our guy, Jake Tobridge. And we featured him before on the show. He did a funny little video, and it was his impersonation of Bill Burr, which was really hilarious. I mean, it was, spot on.
He's pretty good at impressions, dude.
He's pretty good at impressions. He took it to a whole nother level on this video that we're about to see. It's called Now Presenting. I Want That Deep Play.
He has great hair, too. Look at his hair.
He's beautiful. He is beautiful. He's like, he's got that, like the beard and the hair, the Denny hair, the Scott beard, and he's just crushing it. So
his hair looks like Guile in Street Fighter right here. I mean, that's a beautiful little thing. He's just a little coif he's got up front there.
Wait until you hear it. You're gonna love this. So, all right, I just gotta find the mouse on my thing. Here we go.
Yeah. You are my sleeper, the one I dive deeper on for draft day, 'cause I want on that deep play. That's my guy. Ain't actually gonna have him play, but that's my guy. He got a tattoo so that I can say I got my guy. He'll be on my bench on Sundays. I want that deep play. My sleeper, the one I dive deeper.
The facial expressions alone of Jake are just
That's
the best.
great.
He is just so funny.
No wonder why his hair looks so good. I didn't realize he was trying to be a Backstreet Boy.
Yeah, he's backstreeting it.
Yeah, he looked like he iced his tips a little bit or something.
He's
Yeah.
trying.
Did he ice them? Did he put a little something? Did he
got a
go
little
put some sun in his hair? He frosted them.
Yeah, he's sexing it up here for us. Oh my gosh, dude!
He should always wear his hair like that. I mean, it doesn't matter if he's trying to make fun of Backstreet Boys. It looks great, Jake. You should. I would always, whatever you did, I would just do that every day. Put a little frost in it.
No, he is perfect, hilarious. My guy Jake Tobridge over there, check him out. Please follow him at Jake Tobridge on the tweeters.
Somebody give that guy a gel sponsorship.
Right, seriously. So what do you think? You want to put Cooterdoodle on the?
You won for sure.
Okay, I won. All right, that's. I don't want to say I won, but
Jake knocks it out of the park.
Jake does knock it out of the park. Let me pull up my girl Cooterdoodle real quick because she had a tweet that you mentioned. I'm going to go to her media section here that just crushed it the other day. Here it is.
It went like how many? Like 32K. She's gone viral.
She's done it. She's welcome to the club, Cooter. You are officially a viral girl or woman, lady.
That's great.
And here's what she did. She said, posing with vegetables from my garden like guys do with their fish. And I mean, it's so perfect. The look on her face is perfect. The camera angle, putting it right close to the camera is perfect. She's got a couple different peppers on there. I think she's just hilarious. Really funny stuff that she's putting out. I think she was on Pete Overzet's show last week, the randomizer show. Check both of them out. Cooterdoodle is a fan favorite, and you always want to give her the dap that she deserves. So that is 3 tweets, my friend. And anything else that you wanted to share today as we head out?
No, just give Cooterdoodle her flowers since she made a tweet about her garden. Gotta give the flowers, dude.
You definitely have to. Also, please do go patron Underdog Fantasy. Your boy and my boy over here, Mr. Mike Collins, Mike Cash Collins, finally got paid by Underdog. We're in the process of getting paid by Underdog. It's a beautiful thing. I am a big fan of Underdog as they put cash in my hand and bread in my wallet. And I appreciate you guys a lot. Please go patron them. Check out Underdog Fantasy. They're available on Apple. They're available on Google Play. Download them. Put in promo code NIMBLE. Right now, there's a promo that if you sign up, they'll give you $25 free deposit. Just take that, put it in the Best Ball 2 Mania. That's where you want to be. Play Underdog Fantasy here on Twitter. I love them. I'm there every day. We're in the Underdog streets every single freaking day. If you want me to be in a tournament that you're playing in, send me the link. I'll jump in if I can. I do it every day. I love it. Please do check us out. And then, of course, I mean, Bo didn't jump in the show tonight, but we still love Bo. And, he's a fan favorite for sure. And I have to say, go to bigtimeflavorcode.com, buy yourself some Bo's Hot Box brand hot sauce. It is the bomb. It's my favorite hot sauce ever. And it's also the official hot sauce of the Fantasy Football Hot Stove. So please go get yourself some and go to Viridian Global. I don't have my hat with. Oh, I do have my hat with me. You're wearing your hat. Go to Viridian Global. They've got your hot box gear. They also have your Scott Fishbowl 11 gear. I bought 2 Pink Floyd t-shirts for myself. I bought a Public Enemy hoodie. I bought a Nirvana t-shirt. I can't wait, man. I spent tons of money. I think it's for a great cause too. Make sure you get out there. If you're in Scott Fish or not, donate. Fantasy cares. Do your part to be able to support people who are in need, whether it be children, adults, anybody that you can. Get out there. And Mike, we're going to get you in. That's the goal this year, is to get you into Scott Fish. And here's the thing. We could co-manage my team if you wanted to. We could talk together. We could draft together. We could be little buddies together if we wanted to. I'm okay not telling anybody that you were my consigliere, or I'm okay with telling everybody. So either way,
next time they have one of these free ones, like get me in there. I don't think he's gonna. I think it's. I mean, when does it run? It's almost too late, right?
July is when it starts.
But when's the cutoff? Is it?
I mean, up until the day people are getting in. You know what I mean? There's satellite tournaments too. He does. I think Troy last year went to a satellite tournament. There's a bunch and then there's, even if you're not in the tournament, there's lots of ways to participate and to kind of make yourself known so that maybe next year you can get in the tournament. And this is what Scott Fish does. He keeps a database of every single person who's ever entered. And so if you've signed up for it, he has a record of when you signed up, and he doesn't let people go multiple, 3, 4, 5 years without getting in. If you've signed up many years in a row, we want to make sure people get in. He's awesome. By the way, if you don't follow Scott Fish, he's ScottFish24 on Twitter. He's amazing. He does amazing things. And I love that he partnered with Viridian Global, Will Harris over there, and the stuff that they're doing. The t-shirts are great. I'm wearing my Scott Fish Bowl 9 t-shirt right now, in case you guys weren't noticing. This is the best, I think, Scott Fish t-shirt ever made, the Sega Genesis. I got 2 of them. It's awesome. So do check that out. That's it for us this week. Next week we'll be back. I'm excited. We're tucking in. We haven't talked about it yet, but we definitely have to do an underdog best ball mania 2 draft on here. I think the way that it is, it's really hard to get into a tournament. I can't create my own tournament for that. You just get into the room that it's in. So what we'd have to do is we'd have to, at the same exact time, go into a tournament at the same time, and then it would put us in the same one. I did it last year or a couple weeks ago when Nick Ercolone and a couple guys, I think Ian Harditz, they were doing a live one on Underdog. And so they were like, all right, we just signed up. I just did right when they signed up, and I was in the same one as them. So I don't think that they have multiple rooms everywhere. I think they're just signing up people as they get into a tournament. We could do that one of these weeks as well, which I'd love to, because that's for $1 million, folks. That's $1 million.
That'd be awesome.
Million. So do check us out. Yeah, we are the Fantasy Millionaires. Please follow us over on Twitter, FF Millionaires. Follow my friend, the Ralph Macho, on Twitter. Follow me, Nimble W Numbers. Follow my cohort, Bo_McBigtime. And don't forget to follow the math magician, Jordan Vanek 1 on Twitter. I think that's it, man. I think we crossed all the boxes, hit all the T's, and done everything we're supposed to do tonight. I think there's only one thing left to do, and that is to say goodbye. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for checking us out. Appreciate everybody.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. And then I think that's when I hit the outro, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Be fearless at MMA Long Island and Setuha Karate. Located at 28 Colt Court in Ronkonkoma, MMA Long Island is the martial arts school for you if you want to learn combat-proven techniques, build confidence, discipline, and self-esteem while learning real martial arts to fight back against bullies, predators, and peer pressure. MMA Long Island offers group and private lessons for all ages and levels in traditional Goju-Ryu Karate, MMA, and self-defense. MMA Long Island is one of Long Island's most affordable martial arts schools. There are no promotion, belt, or membership fees, and family discounts are available. All classes are taught by 7th degree black belt Sensei John Benedict with over 30 years teaching experience. So whether you want to get in the ring or protect yourself and your family, MMA Long Island can help you reach your goals. Visit MMALongIsland.com. That's MMALongIsland.com, or call or text 516-381-9660. That's 516-381-9660.
Do current market conditions have you nervous? Our experienced team of financial professionals at Heritage Harbor Financial Associates understands that no two investors are alike. We all have different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the one-size-fits-all approach does not work, especially when planning for retirement. At Heritage Harbor Financial Associates, we analyze your unique investment style so that you can work toward your individual retirement goals on your terms. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates can help you take steps to reach your retirement goals by providing a wide array of financial financial products to fit your needs, even for the risk adverse. Give us a call at 631-331-6599 to learn more or to set up an appointment with one of our financial professionals. You can also find us on the web at hhfa.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/hhfa.org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC. Annuity and insurance products offered through AXA Network LLC.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 16 years with insurance solutions for auto, home, commercial, life, and retirement. He's located at 54 Sunnyside Boulevard, Suite H in Plainview. That's just 1,000 feet south of 495. Local agent, local advice. The time to think about insurance is before you need it. So do yourself a favor, and before you pay your next insurance bill, give Ed and his team a call, 516-935-3900, or visit him online at www.allstate.com/EL. Edward H. Lehman Insurance is your trusted insurance advisor.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.